Previously
the
on
age
Bold
of
Beginnings.
quietly quitting. This is a term we've heard often at this point. It's clocking in, doing exactly what's required, and then clocking out. No extras, no hustle, no pretending the job is your identity.
Quietly quitting. Have you heard that term before? I haven't heard it. And coming
Quitting
up,
is this thing where I don't quit the job, but I basically will dial back my effort.
Just the older generation saying that the youth is lazy and whatever, and the younger generation saying that like you don't see the hard work that we're putting in. I think there's validity in both.
There's a major reckoning going on in corporate America where a lot of us who bought into the hustle culture are now realizing how dangerous that was.
Okay, let's see. Goal for today, 500 calls. We're doing 50.
Here's the thing about quiet quitting. We all knew the whole time that what we were doing was unsustainable.
Don't quit your job just yet. I want you to detach from it first.
So I recently had someone tell me that because they didn't get promoted, they were going to just get by, effectively quiet quitting.
I have never heard of the term quiet quitting, but after watching his video, I was like, let me see if somebody else knows about this. And I went to TikTok. Take a look at this.
Quiet quitting is this thing where I don't quit the job, but I basically will dial back my effort and give you the minimum. So you pay me to do this job, and I will do the basic minimum amount to do the job, where you can't really fire me because I'm not really doing anything badly or wrong, but I'm also not going above and beyond at all, right? So there's this concept of quiet quitting where people are coming to work and they're just doing the minimum, doing their hours, doing their job, not volunteering or raising their hands or going, and that's it.
Now, if you know me by now, you might not know me by now. So you might not know me by now, but I like to add a little levity to my videos. Watch this.
I recently learned about this term called quiet quitting, where you're not outright quitting your job, but you're quitting the idea of going above and beyond. You're still performing your duties, but you're no longer subscribing to the hustle culture mentality that work has to be your life. The reality is it's not, and your worth as a person is not defined by your labor.
Here's the thing about quiet quitting. We all knew the whole time that what we were doing was unsustainable.
Okay, y'all, if y'all haven't already, check out that whole video. I have a lot to say about this. There's a major reckoning going on in corporate America where a lot of us who bought into the hustle culture are now realizing how dangerous that was. I realized this when I moved from a management role that required so much of my time and so much of my attention that I was even putting out fires on vacation. Tired of that kind of attention, I transitioned to a role that was almost the exact opposite, and I immediately felt like I had been demoted. So I was making the most money I'd ever made in my life, but because I was in a role where I didn't feel very well respected, I didn't feel like my opinions were being asked, I didn't feel like I was putting out fires every single day, that I immediately was unhappy. And this is where I realized how so much of my self-worth and so much of my identity was attached to being in a role and doing well in a role, i.e. being needed almost all of the time. And jobs want you to feel this way. They call this engagement. How much do you buy into the company culture that you become part of that company in a real and scary way?
Here's the thing about quiet quitting. We all knew the whole time that what we were doing was unsustainable. Everybody, the bosses knew, the workers knew, HR knew, the trend forecast people. And look, surprise, it couldn't be sustained. People have realized that they're giving and giving and giving, and they're not getting in return. Who thought that was going to go on forever?
Quiet quitting kind of sounds like this lady I had watched before. She was talking about not going above and beyond at work. I have a video about that. I'm going to put it up here. You can check out my previous videos, but not going above and beyond at work, because a lot of times it's not reciprocated in your pay. And a lot of times when you do go above and beyond, I'm going to say this. I am one of those people that go above and beyond at work because that's just how I work. I can't help it. But it is a little stressful sometimes. But she was saying not to go above and beyond at work. And I understand what she meant by that. It's not that you're not doing your job. It's that you're not going 1,000%. Like you can do 100 But to do 110, 20 and not be reciprocated by the pay or the recognition or a promotion, that becomes draining. And it's like, what am I doing this for? So I get what she was saying behind that. There was some comments in there where people were like, no, you need to be going above and beyond at work because it's it helps the morale and it's all about. Watch this video. And then I'm gonna share the comments in this next video. Watch this.
So I recently had someone tell me that because they didn't get promoted, they were going to just get by, effectively quiet quitting. I responded by saying, so your work product is conditional. You only put forth an effort based on how much you feel you're valued and appreciated. As someone who's been underleveled, undervalued, undercompensated, and underestimated, I certainly get it. It is most certainly demoralizing to not have your contributions appreciated or acknowledged. But consider this. What if you push anyway because that is who you are and what you believe in? It's more than just a brand, and you don't have anything to prove to anyone else but yourself because you are that good. Striving for excellence can lead to personal growth and skill development. Even if external recognition is limited, you can continue to enhance your abilities and knowledge, which can benefit your career in the long run. Also, a commitment to high standards can be intrinsically motivating. When you take pride in your work and seek to improve it, you derive satisfaction from the process itself, regardless of external rewards. You can enhance your professional reputation and credibility. Your dedication to excellence may open up future opportunities, even if they are not immediately apparent. It could lead to promotions, new projects, or roles in which your skills are more valued.
So if we look at the comments here, we see the first comment says, somebody said, I can be productive and valued somewhere else. Basically, thanks, but no thanks. That's the whole purpose of going to work. Give me my money, pay me my value, even though we're still undervalued, most of us, but go on, give me my money. Someone said, yes, my work product is conditional, and it is. We only go to work to get paid. Most of us, we don't go to work for fun. The condition is you pay me for my work. Are you from HR? Somebody said, gotta be. Next person says, skill development don't pay no bills. Another one that looks like a lot of people liked crazy talk. I will no longer give 1,000% to any company that doesn't demonstrate that appreciation through promotion and contribution. Exactly, Miss Monica. Somebody said, absolutely not. The days of me giving 110% for a 3% cost of living adjustment are behind me. You get what you pay for. The people are fed up. If we go through all these comments, she did a lovely video, but people are looking at the realities of their paychecks, the realities of those bills that are coming in, the increases of the cost of living, which is more than 3%. The increase in the utilities. Oh my goodness. This past week, I opened my electric bill and I was astounded by the amount of the bill. It was an additional $100 on top of the normal bill. I have not touched the thermostat. We have not changed the amount of things that are plugged in. Nothing has changed, but that bill has changed. I was devastated. A whole extra 100? Somebody said, no, I am worth what I am worth. And if I'm not valued, I leave. We don't think like this anymore, ma'am. The next one. I'm glad we are all on the same page in these comments because what? Somebody said her speech sounds just like a boss. And like I said before, I have a video. I talked about the above and beyond work that is no longer happening for a lot of people. Like the comment says here, above and beyond no longer gets you anything. Quiet quitting means I work the same amount you pay because that pay has not changed. But you can continue to look at these comments here. They all, like the person said, are all on the same page. People are fed up at work. And a lot of these comments that I see in her comment section are not the same as the ones that I saw in my comment section, where people were like, you need to go above and beyond. Now we see there's another group of people who do not believe in going above and beyond. And like the guy said, I don't know if I played his video yet, but he talks about the polarization between the generations, the thought processes of the generations probably before me, who thought, that you have to really go above and beyond. And now, as the millennials are here now, I think the Gen Zers, I can't keep up with those generational things, but the certain age group now are realizing that going above and beyond, like the lady said, is not sustainable. And on top of that, it's a gaslighting situation. Pay me my money. Somebody said she was so close. When she said effort based on value and appreciation, I was like, yep. And then she gaslit us. Yeah, this is interesting. So let me know in the comments. Do you agree with most of the comment section? Or do you agree with the creator of this video?
Okay, let's see. Goal for today. 500 calls. We're doing 50. We're doing 50. It's Maple Muffin Monday, everyone. Let's go to the break room. Did you watch last week's episode of The Bachelorette? Yeah, good drama, right? Hey, Veronica, you have till end of day to finish all this extra work. Respectfully, Susan, it's 2022. We're acting our wage, so don't give me extra work. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. She did not say that. She did not. Oh my God. I'm dying. I'm happy to help. Have a great day. Okay, bye. Everyone have a great night. Okay, bye. Bye.
I just got off work and I saw a video of an older gentleman talking about quiet quitting and how like our generation is just lazy and we don't want to work for anything, and how we're never going to be able to go get the brand new house or the new car because we're not putting in the extra work. Most of the videos and most of the takes that I've seen are very polarizing. It's one, just the older generation saying that the youth is lazy and whatever, and the younger generation saying that like you don't see the hard work that we're putting in. I think there's validity in both. And I think what older generations are having a really hard time conceptualizing is that I work a minimum wage tips job position, and if I were to ask any of my coworkers that are around my age when they're going to buy their first home, they're going to laugh at me. They're going to laugh because they don't know if they're going to be able to pay rent next month. One of the main talking points that my generation uses is, well, it was a lot cheaper to buy a house back in the day, and you could work a minimum wage job and put in the extra hours and actually buy a home. I think that's the biggest point that's going over a lot of people's heads that are complaining about quiet quitting and that this generation doesn't want to work. The reality is many of us that are in my age or a little older, a little younger, are working jobs that do not care about us as people. And I'm going to say that again because I think that's a very, very important distinction that a lot of people are forgetting. I am not going to kill myself over a job that doesn't care about me as a human being. I am not going to put in a 60-hour work week and pull myself up by my bootstraps for a job that does not care about me as a person. Oh, you're being sensitive. Oh, you just want your feelings. No, I'm saying the bare minimum is that if I'm sick or if I have a family emergency, that job's not going to be like, oh, it's your responsibility to find someone to replace you. So many people my age are coming to the realization that we're just the idea and the notion that we're just able to buy a home in this climate just by putting in some extra hours is outrageous and honestly just so ignorant. 50 years ago, yeah, you could work at McDonald's and put a down payment on a house in your mid-20s. In today's date, that is not possible. Now, let me rephrase that. It is possible. If I work an 80-hour work week, don't go out ever, don't do anything I enjoy, don't take a day off for mental health, for physical health, for whatever, eat ramen noodles for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a couple years, and then maybe I could get approved for a loan, pay off this loan on top of the crippling student loans many of us are in, and then after a couple years of literally killing myself, I can own a home. And you can't just say, oh, people are lazy for not wanting to do that. I'm not even taking into consideration, I don't know if we're going to have a sustainable world in 50 years. I'm asking a genuine question here. Why, as a 22-year-old individual, would I do all of this work to save up for a home in some place that I probably don't want to live in, because chances are I can't afford to live where I want to live, purchase that home, and then not even know if we are going to have a sustainable world to live in 50 years from now? Why would I want to raise kids in a world where I don't know if they're going to have clean air to breathe in 50 years? It all comes back down to you had the privilege of growing up in a world where there was hope and opportunity, and we don't.
So, like he said, a lot of people are on the edge. It's like a very thin line. And so there are people who are quiet quitting, and there are people who are just outright quitting. But she says, don't quit your job just yet. Watch this.
You're about to clock in, but let this be your reminder that don't quit your job just yet. I want you to detach from it first. Don't quit your job just yet. I want you to detach from it first, okay? There are very real life things about the environment that you're in if you belong to corporate America, if you belong to professional spaces. I understand that. There are real circumstances that you are facing right now that are unjust, that a system is broken, etc. However, I know that you have bills to pay, you have food to put on the table, and this is where I just want to remind you. The job might be off, but I want to help you and relieve some of that pressure by detaching your identity from it. I want to know if you clock in as the never enough person. Maybe you were like the middle child in your family. Maybe you were the baby, and so you always had to be like, I'm fighting for my comparison here. I also want to know if you are constantly struggling and battling comparison by the inner mean girl in your head every day. Every day. This is why I say don't quit your job just yet. I am asking you to detach from it first. Detach your identity from what the job is. Do not clock in as the eldest daughter. Do not clock in as the firstborn son. Do not clock in as the fixer. Clock in as you to fulfill the job description.
This was an interesting take, and I wanted to take a look at her comments. And the first comment says, so true. I was close to quitting, but I couldn't afford to, so I had to pull back from work emotionally. I haven't had an issue ever since. The next person says, see, the problem is I have no idea how to do this. I feel that when I detach, I don't care about anything and it will show. So then I'll get backlash from work. And I'm sure other people have felt that way as well. And we don't want to have backlash from work. We want to make sure that we are doing the work. Like I said before, put that 100% in, but also what she's saying about detaching from the work, not identifying that the work is you, but you're just there to do the work. Someone said, detaching feels like giving up to me. It's so hard. And I can understand that. Someone said, the minute I stopped caring at work in this kind of capacity, work got a hell of a lot better. I show up, try my best each day and turn it off at 4:30 and don't think about it again until the next day. And that's what my friend tells me all the time. Work will be there. So if you take a vacation, it'll be there when you come back. If you need to log off early, it'll be there tomorrow. The work will be there. Don't worry about it. Someone said, I'm physically there at work, but mentally I'm somewhere else. I don't care about my job and coworkers. Somebody said, what if I already detached, but they rely on me too much? I'm literally cooked. It's actually physically killing me. When they rely on you to do the job, that's a lot of stress. It's a lot of anxiety. And then you probably feel like I can't detach from work because what's going to happen without me? The work is going to get done. You're probably overachieving in the first place. Somebody said, too late. I already quit. Well, I hope it's going well. You know, we got a lot of people who are quietly quitting, and then we got people who are quitting altogether. Someone said, I care too much about doing my best. They don't care. So once I detached emotionally and just did my job, I'm in a better space. And that's exactly what she's talking about here. Somebody said, attach yourself to a mission, not a company. In this economy, better having a replacement job lined up before quitting. The job market is really bad right now. And the last comment, yes, I no longer care. I still get my work done, perform well, lead my team, etc. However, I now take breaks. Oh my gosh, breaks are necessary. Don't put so much pressure on myself. Don't go above and beyond. And that is me. I had to start taking breaks. I had to start walking away. And I really feel this last comment because I did put a lot of pressure on myself as well. Like I said, I like to go above and beyond and overachieve and stay stuck to my seat and get the work done. But what I had to learn is that I needed the breaks for my mental sanity. So make sure you're taking breaks as well. But let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. Quietly quitting. So not doing more than you need to do at work. I talked about this before about work-life balance. I'm going to put those videos down in the description. Just take a look at those videos. Have you ever felt like you wanted to quietly quit something? Like you may have been on a job for 10, 20 years and you're like, you know what? I am doing the best that I can, or even more than the best that I can, but the recognition isn't there. So guess what? I'm going to back away from it. I am going to do less because obviously I'm not being recognized for doing more. So why stress myself out? I'm the type of person who wants to do more. I want to achieve a lot. But if it's not giving me any type of reward in the end and I am stressed for doing that, let's back it down. I'm still going to do the work, period. But it's not going to be at that same level of, stress. So what do you think about quietly quitting? Let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. I love a good comment conversation. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video.